Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? Man, this really nice guy yesterday in Walmart. Gunner, the Gunner. Does bracelets and kayak tours with leather and stuff. It's pretty cool. He's battling addiction, and he's gonna start him a YouTube channel because people need this. There are ways to get out of this when nothing else seems to work. One thing is to lift the shame, guys. You're only human, right? You gotta lift the shame. There's no shame in these tools. The shame is burying yourself and not being able to live a daily life, take care of your kids, your family. They need you. They need you bad. Um, I grew up the X generation, right? I think that's it. I don't know, but we had the best of everything, right? And we had the worst of everything. And we were the beginning of everything and the end of a lot of things, right? So it's up to us, X generation. We've had so much in our lives that we can compare. Living history of what they say and how we lived, right? Because we've all been in the same class since then. Very few of us has risen out of that class, right? The ones that were damaged taking care of themselves, because I consider myself a latchkey kid. I don't do generations, right? We had to come home, and you better not leave that freaking house until your mom and dad came home, period. That door's locked. We'd lock it, we'd come in and open it, and we'd lock it behind us. We took care of ourselves because both parents had to work for the first time. Well, not first time, but I mean, they were really like everybody had to work. And what I noticed was the men's wages started dropping because they can put women in those positions, right, and pay them less. So instead of a bunch of men with a little bit of women, they started having all women with a few men. Well, Southern men got tired of that. They couldn't work for less than what they started out at, you know? So they took care of the kids or did housework or did odd jobs around the house. And then you want to shame them too. How can you expect someone to go to work and not be able to buy lunch, childcare, and dinner for their family at night? This isn't making any sense, guys. And that's why we're all just like, F it, Um, we think somebody has done well, and they haven't. It's a very small amount. The majority of us are stuck in lower class, and they want it that way, so we'll just scrape and scringe, and we'll fight each other instead of fighting for better conditions at work or more pay. They doing this real crazy, like the child labor thing. 80 something thousand children are missing with this bull crap that they did with the Trump border bull crap. Hundreds of thousands of a hundred something thousand of them were businesses, American businesses here in America. We're using them for child labor, paying them less than what they would pay an American child. And I don't want our children working. These jobs, they have to play. They can't just work constantly. That's what's wrong with us. We produce more, we work more, and then we went to work more, consume more, and it's like we've lived through all this, guys. X generation, you have to come out and start speaking up, because we grew up with the drug addicts from Vietnam. We watched them use their dope and coke and go on methadone and get worse, and then turn around, go back to heroin and quit. That tells you something right there. You can't keep seeing these things and telling us one thing another, right? We do this to ourselves all the time, and it's not right. We can see, we lived through this. We've lived through really good times when the taxes were high on corporations. That's when everybody did well. Schools were good, jobs were good, housing was good. But then the bad actors took place again, right? and they got deep embedded in our systems. Start hating government. I mean, we live. I was there whenever Reagan did the assault weapons ban. Killings went down. It's proven. This isn't something we have to guess about, right? Me personally, I don't need a firearm. I don't need one. I don't have the mental capacity not to just flip out and throw it at somebody. You know, because that's my choice of weapons is to throw something at somebody. Um, it's just wildly crazy. Like I had time to sit and relax since I've been on that little getaway to my friend's house and friend family, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to keep it vague, but I'm relaxed. I don't have the racing thoughts in my head. That's why I haven't really been on here. I've been playing around with conspiracy theories because they're like used to be my favorite thing, but now they're just getting totally outrageous. Like now, I see that the religions are starting to change. Oh well, that that they're starting to, like, I watched it my whole life. For example, 9 years old, going to the museum of these dinosaurs, right? And on the Riverwalk, right? They had these museum of dinosaurs, and they had the Triceratops, and it was all mechanical. And our school, like, they had a heart attack. That, like, some of the parents, oh, we can't go through that. Our world is only 6,000 years old. That's how they were when I was 9, right? The world's only 6,000 years old. Then it changed to we rode dinosaurs, or dinosaurs didn't exist, and then we rode dinosaurs. You know, like, I don't understand how uh, they just adopt these things. So watching the conspiracy theories, right? Last night and the last week, really, because I like to play with them. I like to make my brain think, oh, that's just too ridiculous, or that's real, or can I find that somewhere else? Does it repeat itself in history or in nature, right? So that's how I try and do things. But it gives my brain exercises to find out when someone's deceiving me. That's my whole biggest thing in life is don't deceive me. I can work through the truth. Yeah, I may throw a fit, at first, but then I work through it, and then, right or wrong, I go, I either apologize and accept the truth, or I get mad and I don't talk to you. That's stupid, right? So I'd rather accept the truth, um, not adopt what would fit my still state of mind. Oh, this, I believe this, and then I see all these facts. I can't keep believing that, right? I can't say, oh, well, I can fit it into this and make it fit, right? If your foot's too small to fit in a shoe, it's just too small to fit in a shoe. Um, but I love how they adopt everything from eons, and I've watched it change throughout my life. I've lived through it. Like I said, my mother was an Old Testament Catholic, and then she was made to change the New Testament, and we did our first communions, and we did everything. We were baptized and all that. Christened. And then she was, go figure it out for yourself. There's so many denominations that believe in the same God, you know. That's neither here nor there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to convert nobody. I'm just trying to show you my processes of how I get to where I'm at. I'm not preaching to y'all. I'm just, the audacity of those that are in power to just keep rolling over us. Y'all are breaking the law. Even when laws are set, there's set decorum in government, which now we know we need laws to make that happen. One thing, we need to rewrite all that. We need, if you can't do it, and I'll give you 3 million. I was going to say 1 million, but I give you 3 million. If you can't do it 3 months and 3 million, then you don't need to be in office. That means you can't budget your money. You can't make good decisions that'll make it go the furthest. Dude, I mean, get out of office. If you're not here for the people, Kira, no, away from the pond. Come on, this way. Come on. If you can't do it in that amount of time, 6 years, you get 2 terms. 3 years apiece. What's wrong with that? We'll call it the 3-3-3 deal. 3 million, 3 months, and 3 years. That's all you need, bro. You don't need to make a career out of it. You don't need to make it a family ordeal. This is not royalty. This is the United States of America. You know, people of the people serve the people, not the corporations, not the businesses, and that's where we're at. All we do is serve the corporations, the pharmacies, all that. You can't tell me a doctor. Every time I say something's wrong with me, feeling, you know, like in my body and all, a doctor will tell me I have 12 years of experience. You can't tell me that. But you can tell me a pharmaceutical company can come to a doctor with 12 years of school and say, oh no, that nobody will get addicted to this. You're a liar, okay? Do no harm is your oath. Do no harm. And you're doing a lot of harm here, guys, because you're following the money or you're following what insurance says. That's not the way the system is supposed to work. It's supposed to be for the people, you know. You know better than them when you say, oh, well, I didn't know. But you tell me, someone who has an 8th grade education but knows what's going on in their body, I'm a liar? It don't add up. That's why people don't believe y'all and don't trust y'all. The whole system's rigged for just putting you in your place in your class. And it's all of us. It's all of us. You think you make something, you make $40,000, $50,000 a year, you mean nothing to these people. You got to make $400,000 a year or more, you know. And we're sitting here fighting their battles while they're breaking laws. Sitting there breaking the law, but going to have you pay and sit in court for a traffic ticket and miss work and miss school and do this class. They're not even freaking doing driving tests no more, but they're going to send you to class if you get a ticket. You should have had a damn class before they got a driver's license. You know, get off the side of the road, cops. Go do some real work, you know. You're harming, you're putting yourself and the person at risk by stopping us on the side of the road. Y'all get knocked out of the way all the time. You should see this. There should be no traffic stops like that. You got a helicopter. Quit chasing people extreme speeds. Stop it. You know this, right? These are things we know that we can stop and protect right now that would make everybody's life better. And we don't, because, oh, they got to meet that quota, or they got to get that money. It's not worth it. Money is not worth it. Quota is not worth it. The sanctity and security of our country and the respect of the people that's in it, that created everything around it, our descendants did that, not you sitting up at the top. You know, yeah, that was... You guys, man, are just bought in. You're bought in, and most of you are criminals or lawyers. It's another thing. Why is Lady Justice blind? Take the damn blindfold off, because nobody rich really gets anything. They go for a few months, maybe a year, and they get out on good behavior when they were in there playing tennis and racquetball and what's the new thing? Shit, I don't even know. It's so stupid. These are just things that go through my head. I'm not really preaching to y'all. This is just my processes of the stupidity. You know, like we know children don't start waking up and learning until 9 o'clock at night. 9 o'clock in the morning. But God forbid we have school start at that time. Y'all just don't make no sense. You expect people to believe what y'all say and do, but then when you have proof right in front of you, you still do the opposite. Do you not see how the shit rolls downhill? You know the shit rolls downhill. Y'all never get anything that ever implicates y'all or y'all have to follow, or it's supposed to be Congress will have no law to govern the people and not themselves. And all that got misconstrued, and because people with no decorum went in there and did not, there are no rules for decorum, right? You should do the right thing. You know better and you should not intentionally hurt. That's not what happened. People, bad actors that wanted more money and more fame and their way of life to be for everyone. It's not the way democracy works, people. The minority has been running this country for decades now. Almost two. And that isn't the way a democracy works. Not even a republic, right? You want to scream, oh, but we are a republic. But you want to scream, oh, we're a democracy when it affects you. Stop it. We can see in front of us, and we have proof in history, living history of these things following us that we can see, and we're still doing this opposite, dude. Like, where are our leaders? Our leaders are in the pockets of corporations. You know, they're not leaders, they're followers. They are now working for the man. They are no longer the man. They are nothing but squids working for the man. I just don't get it why we can't start right here. We created capitalism, and then they broke the rules, and now the rules are against us. So we can do it right here again. We don't need them. We can do it legally. We can make our own capital right here in our communities and restart capitalism. You know, the only socialism we have in this country is to corporations. What you call workman's comp, that is your benefit. You pay for that insurance. Your employer and yourself pay for that insurance. You should not be ashamed or dogged for getting it when you need it. I'm getting ate up. Social Security. Oh, those are socialist things. Well, you know, I was around when elderly people were eating dog food in Alpo. And it was horse meat back then. Alpo had horse meat back in there. I mean, so don't think, you know, quit clutching your pearls. We've been in a lot of deep spaces, good and bad. Like I said, you wounded alphas have to get out the way. This next generation is locked in and is suffering. They're going to come up with the biggest climate changes. They're going to have to compete with AI and human enhancements. They're keeping us in our place, just like the dentist, right? If you ain't got no teeth, they know where you belong. Even if a goat did knock it out while you were trying to make money. They just know you don't make $400,000 a year. But the average person, when I was still like in society, and this was like 17 years ago, it was before Katrina, and one single person needed $2 million to retire. Yeah, right. You lucky if you have $10,000 that you owe on something. You're never ahead. And that's another thing. You just steal the wealth from their children by these loans. Oh, forget these equity loans. You taking their home from their children, and you know it. That's why it was stopped. And as soon as Republicans got in there, they changed it back to, oh, we'll just steal everybody's wealth. We don't need them people to have money, because then our children or grandchildren won't be able to use them as slaves. What's what people got to understand, what's, even if you're in that club, right? You remember back when you were a kid and you hung out with everybody. You were in the big time with everybody, and you were popular. And then one little thing changed everyone's mind because somebody got mad at you, and then you had to go sit at the table with the stupid kid, or what they called the underprivileged kids. It's the same thing they're using right here as an adult. And they're using it against us because we're so busy just trying to eat. It don't make any sense, you know? I'm all about growing. It's like when my son come home one time, he's like, Mom, they're talking about you and I want to fight them. I'm like, don't fight my battles. I can fight my own battles. And for another thing, it's probably true, you know? I was a million people before I was your mom, you know? And so let it go. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you. You live your life for you, right? Don't protect me. I'm an adult. It's like when they tell him, oh, you big boy, big strong boy, take care of your mom. And I would straight up tell him in front of them, no, I take care of you. You're the child. Let me worry about everything. You don't have to take care of me. You don't put things and pressures on young children like that. They can't take care of their mother. The best I could do with my mom when I was young like that is when she fell out and passed out, I would get her cigarettes, her pillow, her iced tea, or her water. And just sit with her on the floor until she woke up. And used to have smelling salts, but we ran out of that. But and it was because she was hypoglycemic and we didn't have much food, and she would pass out all the time. It's disturbing, but I knew that that's all I could do is just sit there with her, and it was okay, and we got through it. But I got like 8 minutes left, guys. But yeah, I ran into a gentleman named Gunner, and he does kayaking and stuff, and he's going to be starting a channel, and we're going to work together. He's in the Bay, and I'm right here in Pearlington, and Gunner, hit me up in the comments, and we'll figure a way, because I don't know how to do any DMs or nothing like that. I should have got your number then. We'll figure it out, bro. But yeah, if we can do this together, and more people, the merrier, right? Start our own capitalism. Make sure everybody's included in it. Even the smallest amount of job is worth it. Like before prisons and stuff, you didn't go to jail for a ticket. You didn't have bail and stuff like that. You went to community service and you did something in your community, and that's the way it should be. Not a trumped up charge on you, and now your insurance goes up and you can't afford to drive to go to work. The whole system's set against the small people, the people who can't afford to live day by day, just so they can keep you busy and rob you, you know? Rob you of your rights, rob you of your inheritance. We'll never see, we fight for inheritance tax, right? That don't apply to us. My son's going to get this house. He's the only child there, right? There's no wealth built up in it. It's just, you know, it's something he can work with, hopefully, when he gets a little bit older. I don't even use credit cards, guys. I don't believe in borrowing my money and then paying interest to someone else. No, I like my 401k when I had it. I would borrow money from that, but pay it back to myself. That makes sense to me. Only credit I really had was my car and my house. Those are work credit, right? That's worth it. That's not just, oh, I want a stereo, or oh, now you might need it for new tires. I haven't driven in so long, but I know tires are outrageous, man. why do they even have air in them, right? Just make them full. The the things that we do in our everyday life that just like baffles me on why and how when we know better. Like, we have the evidence and we still do these things, and we make it like mandatory for everybody. Not everybody fits in these boxes, guys. Boxes, you gotta have more than boxes. One of the best schools I ever went to, we had petitions. Not even walls or doors. There was one door you walked in, 4 walls, and a bunch of petitions. And shoot, in 4th grade, I learned how to type in that school. We did so many crazy experiments and stuff. That was awesome. I was an all-white school, but the teachers there, they knew how to deal with little city kids like me, and they really helped me out. The best school, other than that, would be going to Bay Junior High, because everybody was there. I had a mix of everyone. And we all got along. We played ball for years until we were adults together. We had our tiffs, Everybody has their tiffs. We're human. You can't just let the bullies take over. Like, you let the kids, they'll figure it out. No, they won't. The strongest will always dominate, and then they teach them bad behaviors. So you have children teaching children. Do you not see this? The bully will always win when they're that little. You should supervise this, so the other children know when they're being pushed around and what's right and wrong that's happening to them. Children can't teach children like that. Or else we get adults that act like teenagers and call people names and want to fight and shoot people. What the hell, guys? We're adults. Adults that we can sit down and we can talk and we can figure things out. But no, you just want to shoot. Stop, man. You're killing kids. You're killing little kids. They should be safe in America. That's the one thing we did have, was safety for our children to go out and play and be in public. And now you're taking it away. You're letting them feed you something that's bullshit. And the new Fox thing about the gun control, 87% of Republicans want gun control and ban on assault weapons. They're making you fight social issues. We've been here since the beginning of the time. Us queers ain't going nowhere. We've been here. It's in nature. It's a natural thing. Quit letting people tell you it's not. It's in everything we have that is living, right? Nature provides for itself. And once we buck it, we're going to get climate change problems. That's ridiculous. We are nature. We have to be in nature. And I'm about to have to go because I got maybe 2 minutes. But yeah, these are the things I think about and what races my head of what we know and the history and everything I've lived through and seen. And we're still just keep on doing it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it. So guys, you got to look in at yourself. Let's get our communities going and up, and we can create our own capitalism. We don't have to leave the system out. We can just use the system to do it legally and create something better for everyone. We all deserve respect. We all deserve a way to help our community. And love yourself. I love you. So hang in there, and I'll see you soon.